What's up, everyone? Griever back here, as always, bringing you guys the latest and behind-the-bar reviews for 7 Deadly Sins, Chapter 301. Let's get into the chapter, guys. I'm going to save a little bit of a Taizai direction of the story discussion for the end of the video, so the chapter review, of course, will be first here, and then we will discuss a couple of issues I have overall with the direction of the story at the end of the video, in case you guys are curious about my thoughts there. That being said, let's just get into the chapter, because 301 was pretty hype. I was pretty excited, even though 300 left a very bad taste in my mouth. I'm still happy for one reason. One reason alone salvaged this chapter for me, and that is Bon. Bon! Because he was my favorite character when I first started watching and reading 7 Deadly Sins. My favorite character. Escanor came around, and then Escanor was my favorite. And now they're kind of like up here, they're tied. But either way, top tier character, one of my favorites, even though it doesn't make sense, and as I said, we'll discuss this at the end of the video, it does not make sense to me that he can go toe-to-toe with the Demon King. It's still badass to see him do it. And here at the beginning of the chapter, they're smack-talking each other. You're going to kick out me, the Demon King? What are you supposed to do? And Bon's just like, yeah, I'm going to do that. Here, go there. Take care of the master, you know, sort of idea. It's like, all right, time to kick your ass sort of idea. This is where King shows up and says, listen, Bon, no matter how strong you think you are, this is the damn Demon King. I don't care how immortal you are. It's not going to matter. This is where Bon reveals, yeah, problem about that. And here's a big problem. I have a very big problem with this. He couldn't have waited. He couldn't have waited just a little bit longer, and maybe after fighting with literal God to give away the Fountain of Youth. Like, you know, the immortality, pretty helpful probably right about now. But I don't like the fact that Bon lost his immortality. I've already stated that. But the fact is, at least he's letting people know. So he's telling King, he says, yeah, I'm not immortal anymore, I revived Elaine, blah, 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 plot. And King's like, wait a minute, what? So you're going to fight that guy like he just can't comprehend it. Now, one thing King does say that interests me, or he thinks, he doesn't say it, he's thinking it. He says something to the somewhat of the phrase, Bon, then that means that you'll never again, or never. Never what? It's ... after that. Never what? I don't understand. Like, is he saying, oh, that means when you die, you won't die? Like, yeah? And? Like, I don't get the point of that line. Why is King so shocked? Like, King should be shocked at the fact that his sister's alive and Bon gave up his immortality. But why is he thinking, you'll never again? Never again what? This is literally what he wanted. He didn't want to live forever. He didn't want to be the undead Bon forever. I thought that was pretty good established that all he wants is Elaine back to life. That's his goal. He got his goal. I don't see there's no real, the only downside to it is he's no longer immortal. Now he's just a human. And I'm sitting there going, why is this so shocking to King? He's still a badass, he's still strong as hell. And as we tell later in this chapter, he might not be immortal anymore, but I don't think he's pretty impervious to a lot of damage, which does make sense. So I'm okay with that. But yeah, if you guys could explain what exactly King's thinking about, or what his revelation about Bon right there is, because I'm not getting it. I don't see the purpose of that line, or why he's thinking it, or what relevance is it, or what is the never again? Never again what? I want to know what the what is. Is it the fact that he can not die anymore? Okay. But something about that line just didn't feel right to me. Anyways, could be translation. Now, this is where the Demon King's just like, yeah, okay, well, here's what we're going to do. Power of God. And this is very lackluster to me. Very lackluster. And some of you may argue this, but from what I can gather, I mean, he says it's the power of God. He whips up this crazy maelstrom tornado storm thingy. And everyone's like, holy crap, holy crap. King, with the last of his reserves of his power, uses Pollen Garden, protects everyone except for Bon, but protects everybody, and they all get in the huddle. Gother even remarks, he goes, you know, like everyone's concerned about Bon. We can see that this storm is whipping away everything in its path. Maybe the sinner got caught up in that, wherever the hell he is right now. So we see that that's all happened, and that's all fine, dandy, good, whatever. Now, here's the thing, is that Gother states, okay, no living thing can survive out in that storm, like I just can't see it, it's impossible sort of idea. And that makes sense. Power of God, most powerful storm. Then Bond's standing there in front of the Demon King being like, this is what you got? Compared to Purgatory, this is a nice little breeze you whipped up here, buddy. And I'm like, okay, once again, I need to reiterate. It doesn't make sense, but it's badass because it's Bond. It's still badass. Seeing him standing there in front of him being like, not even getting cut up, like, this is nothing. This is shit. You know, that's really cool. I love that because, of course, I love the character of Bond. The issue is that he even says, like, compared to Purgatory. So you're telling me that the Demon King, in his prime vessel body, states, I'm going to unleash the power of God in some type of storm form, and it's weaker than Purgatory. Okay. 2 plus 2 equals 4. Got it. So either the Demon King is a liar, he's not that strong, or Purgatory is stronger than God's. Okay. Just wanted to wrap that around in my brain, then now we can move on. So it ends up being a fist fight. And it's awesome. Bond's going toe-to-toe with the Demon King. Everyone's remarked, like, okay, the storm subsided because he punches the Demon King right in the face. He actually bleeds and everything. From other panels we see, he actually did get some blood on him and some scrapes and stuff. So that's really cool. So Bond's going toe-to-toe with the Demon King. They're beating each other up. Of course, the Demon King does get an upper hand, even though everyone is totally shocked. Rudeciel, Mal, Deanne, everyone's just like, wait a minute, he's going toe-to-toe with the Demon King. What the hell is going on here? Now, this is where he does kick him down, and he gets an upper hand on Bond. Now, the fact that he could go toe-to-toe, once again, does not make sense. No matter how cool it is, it does not make any sense to me. But then the Demon King gets the upper hand. It's just kind of like, oh, so you thought you could do it all on your own sort of idea? And then one of the hits that Bond landed on him, he starts to cripple down, and he starts to go, oh, what is going on? And that's when Bond says, you idiot, I'm not fighting you by myself. And it's like, okay. Ichigo Inner Hollow thing coming at you like I called in 300 review and all that stuff. This is going to be a big waste of chapter time because now we're going to get the inner battle between Meliodas and his daddy the Demon King wrestling for control of the body, like I said at the end of the 300 review. And it's going to my mind, it's a bit of a big waste of time. But nonetheless, that's basically what's going down. Elizabeth notices the presence and says, you know, it's inside. And there is a cool shot of Meliodas or the Demon King's eye, and we see the Demon King's old form inside the eye, and then they're squaring down. So they've both returned to the same body. The Demon King, of course, with the Ten Commandments. He returned to his vessel sort of idea, being Meliodas. But Meliodas did leave Purgatory, get into his emotions back, and now his soul returned to his body. This actually makes sense to me. This makes sense. Meliodas got his emotions back and left Purgatory. His body is there. His soul would go to his body. The Demon King, with the Ten Commandments, decrees and all that stuff, would go to his vessel, which is the body. Same body, the two souls now are in that body and have to fight it out for wrestling for control. Makes sense as to why that would happen, but once again, a waste of our time. So, anyways, that's basically the chapter. That's the review, guys. So now let's just get into a couple of quick problems that I had with this chapter as a result of that. Once again, before I say anything else, Bond being a badass, this does not take away from Bond being a badass. However, let's get into it. One problem, Bond should not be able to touch the Demon King. The Demon King's Power of God Storm is weak AF. Okay? It makes no sense to me. It makes no sense to me that the Demon King, with his 10 Commandments and all his power and all his fear and death and power of God, can't whip up a storm stronger than the winds of Purgatory. Okay, so you were beat out by weather patterns. You're really showcasing your power here, Demon King. Like, that's stupid. It's stupid. It was meant to showcase how strong Bon is, but he shouldn't have stated that I'm going to unleash the power of God now. It's like, because if that's the power of God, Bon is going to... King can kick your ass. Male can kick your ass. Give Escanor the one form. He'll start beating down on this guy. This doesn't make any sense. It's way too weak for that to be the thing. So, translations aside, that was kind of crap. Then we have the fact that Bon can actually go toe-to-toe with the Demon King. That makes no sense. Because Bon, remember, fought him for years and years and years with Meliodas and Wild. They never really touched him. He used that gift ability, sure, but they never really got a clean hit on this guy. This guy was treating them like fodder over 6,000 battles, 6,000 times. He treated them with just mosquitoes. And now all of a sudden he's able to go toe-to-toe when the Demon King literally got his 10 Commandments back. He should be stronger. He's got more power now. Even if you want to argue that he's still at half strength, that it's only the 10 Commandments portion, it's still half of his strength, it's still inside the body of Meliodas, which is strong. He's still getting a boost. You can't tell me that he's any weaker. If not, I'm of the belief he's got to be stronger in this form than he was in Purgatory. And now he's getting, like, the power scaling's off here. Bon couldn't land a hit on the dude in Purgatory. Now all of a sudden he can go toe-to-toe with him? What? In a stronger form? While losing his immortality? I mean, the cool stuff that made sense was the fact that, like, whether, like, fire, water, wind, none of that can really hurt Bon anymore. His body has adapted. His body has basically become impervious to the elements and all that stuff because he survived the harshest terrain in the world. In all the worlds. Purgatory, harshest terrains. He survived it and treated it like nothing. So there's nothing on this mortal plane that can be cast. Once again, it doesn't make sense that God couldn't summon something stronger than Purgatory winds, but that's beside the point. Yeah, this power scaling with Bon, as cool as it is and as happy as I am to see Bon relevant again, makes the Demon King look stupid weak. And it shouldn't be, and it's just... I knew this was a mistake. I knew... When they said, okay, the Demon King is now in the body of Meliodas, I went, no! And now, look at where we're at. And I want to bring up now the last problem I have is, once again, the direction, is it's confirmed. I called it in 300, and I knew this was a bad idea. We're having the Ichigo Inner Hollow thing. It's just a fight of the mind, fight of the souls. Oh, I gotta wrestle control of my body back from this evil presence. So, that's been done before. And the thing is that it's okay for that to be done. It's just, it has to be foreshadowed and established and be a thing for a long-running thing, like Ichigo's hollow form. That was established way back in the first arc of Bleach and didn't really come to fruition until almost halfway through the third arc and near the end of the fourth arc. So, it's something that was a long-stated thing. This is just coming out of nowhere. I mean, you can argue all the foreshadowing that this is what the Demon King was going to do. The issue I have is that it took away the hype of 300. 299 ended with the reveal that Meliodas was back and had the Demon King's power. Really cool. The problem is that where is this going to go? Where is it going to go? We're going to have 4 to 5 chapters of this. And as we saw, Meliodas being all beating the crap out of the Demon King, and then he's like, yes, that is your sin. So they're fighting, they're wrestling with the soul power. Fine, for possession of the body. So in 4 to 5 chapters, when Meliodas does it, we are going to basically get the Demon King form of Meliodas with his emotions back in that body. So what are we doing here with the next few chapters? What was 301? What was 300? What's the point of any of them? If nobody dies, it's only relevant if somebody, not the sinner who's already dying, not Rodesio who's already dying, but if major characters die, if all of a sudden King and Deanne die in the conflict, or Bon dies here, then I will say, okay, this was relevant, but it's still weak. And the fact of the matter is that, let's say, chapter 306, Meliodas gets his body back. So what was the point of 299 to 306? We're basically at the same point we were at the end of 299, except we wasted 2 months of manga chapters to get there with no other... Like, it's not building tension because we know Meliodas is going to get his body back. His emotions came back, blah, blah, blah. I mean, if he doesn't, that's a thing. But considering the cliche shonen trope that just happened with the whole body possession by the main villain, I'm starting to think that I can't give that much credence to Nakaba for this. I don't believe that it's going to be something out of left field. The only thing I can see is that while the two souls, the Demon King and Meliodas, are fighting against each other and the body's a little weakened, the sinner comes up from the ashes and is like, I will take that power back now. My revenge is nigh. It's my turn. Blah, blah, blah. You know, and then the sinner is going to be the final villain. The Demon King will be locked into purgatory once again, and the sinner will be the last bad guy. But then that brings up the problem of, okay, what about the curse? What about the Demon King? What about the Supreme Deity? So, I'm at a real loss here. I'm at a real loss as to what the point of this was. In the next 4 to 5 chapters, Meliodas is going to get his body back, and the Demon King's soul is going to be kicked out, destroyed, something. And it's all going to be irrelevant. Because we're just where we were at the end of 299. And if you are going to tell me that he destroys the Demon King inside of his own body, and that's the way they permanently kill the Demon King once and for all, that is such a bad way to end off the Demon King. That's piss poor. So, I don't know, guys. That was my rant. This has been the chapter review, all that fun stuff. What did you guys think? As you can tell, I like the chapter because Bond, but it's the only saving grace because the direction of Taizai right now is kind of trash. And I hate to say it, but that's what it is. I hate to say that. But I haven't felt this disappointed since we saw Deanne's second bout with amnesia. The second time. Like, we can all say that Nakaba clearly knows how to write a good story and tell a good tale, but also remember, he used the same character with 2 bouts of amnesia just to continue their character development, to keep them from being together or something. Her and King. That was, remember that he did that. Remember that everybody is complaining about Oda introducing, like, Big Mom having amnesia? How soon people forget that Nakaba did it twice to the same character? So, you can't tell me that he can't make mistakes. This is a mistake. It's a bad mistake. And now it can't be retconned at this point. So, we're just going to have to survive through it. As I said, I don't expect any of the next couple of weeks of chapters. We are on break next week, so maybe he did get a bunch of bad reaction, and now he's like, okay, whoa, I need a week off. I got to figure out what I'm going to do because clearly this did not go over well. Maybe that's the reason for the break. I know they're usually scheduled, but it's potential because I know this did not go over well with a lot of fans. Once again, check out the Boar's Hat podcast for thoughts on Chapter 300. I was not in that one, unfortunately. I was busy. 301 I hope to be a part of. So we'll see. But the Boar's Hat podcast, Grimm's YouTube channel and link and everything will be in the description down below. Hopefully someone can shed some light on this for me because right now I'm very concerned about the direction of Taizai. I just feel like things are not going the way they should. So, that being said, everyone, this has been Griever with your Behind the Bar review and Rant Edition. As always, drink responsibly, and we'll see you back here next time.